I'm Ryan Besson from the Pop Culturists, and this is our review of the Razer Thresher 7.1 headset. The Razer Thresher 7.1 is a Dolby-supported surround sound wireless headset for the PlayStation 4, but it can also work with the PC, and it does come in an Xbox variant. It boosts 15mm drivers for better bass and positional audio support, a lag-free audio experience, a retractable digital microphone, and a 16-hour battery, all encased in a lightweight metal and plastic design. The headset comes in two SKUs, the standard 7.1, which is what we have here, and it retails for $229 Australian, and the Ultimate, with a slightly revised headset alongside a very schmick base station and stand retailing for $429 Australian. But of course, this is all information you can easily find on the box, and where is the fun in that? The Razer Thresher first caught my attention at PAX 2017. I was wandering through the hall and it literally stopped me in my tracks.
That's exactly what I wanted.
And from the moment that I saw it, I knew I had to check it out. And I am so glad I did. I simply love this headset, but let me explain why. First, how does it feel? My everyday headset is the Razer Man-O-War, which is a great headset, don't get me wrong. However, it isn't the comfiest. I tend to find the plastic headband will dig into my head unless placed in the correct position. However, with the Thresher, it has this lovely free-moving leatherette and material head thing that nicely moves and almost molds to my head. As someone with a huge head, something I always have to consider is clamping force. I found the headset hugged my buff head pretty much perfectly. It wasn't tight enough to cause head trauma, but it was just enough to help the pads get a nice seal around my ear. Speaking of, the pads appear to be the same leatherette as the Man-O-War, which is something I personally am a big fan of. And boy, are they squishy. But really, the big bonus for me is the little glasses indent in the foam. Having to wear glasses full time, this is an incredibly welcome addition. But let's quickly address the elephant in the room. And by the elephant, I mean me. If you haven't noticed, I am a big dude and I can perspire like the best of them. But with the Thresher, there was no overly sweaty ears. Yeah, there was some warmth, but the pads are nicely breathable and kept dampness to a minimum. The Thresher is a little heavier than the Man-O-War. The weight is nicely balanced in the ear cup. It does have all the additional wireless tech inside it. However, as the headband is somewhat free moving, it can make it feel like the headset is constantly being pulled down. But regardless of where it fits on my head, it feels like a relatively perfect fit. Next, how do they sound? Now, I'm in no way some audio expert. I can't tell an ohm from an impedance or a hertz from a decibel, but I know what I like, and I truly enjoy what I'm hearing with the Thresher. As with most gaming headsets, the Thresher does have the bass pumped a little higher, but they do manage to keep the mids and the highs quite distinct. In fact, I found myself hearing new sounds in songs I've heard 1,000 times. Each frequency is clean and crisp with no bleeding or distortion between them. An example of this is Rip and Tear from the 2016 Doom soundtrack. This is a very bass heavy track with the low end and guitar synth, yet the snare hits come through crystal clear. So as you can imagine, this is perfect for music heavy games like Rock Band 4. As mentioned, the bass boost is perfect for games, particularly shooters. Each bullet fired or grenade explosion has a lovely rumble and boom. And when I say rumble, I'm not kidding. Big 50mm drivers like this can truly deliver an impressive bass rumble to the skull. But of course, the biggest selling point of this headset is the 7.1 surround sound. It's even right there on the box. Although I didn't find the surround sound to be direction perfect, it is pretty damn impressive. Seeing as it's using software trickery to make two speakers sound like 7, I am certainly very pleased. And of course, the best way to test this is with Ninja Theory's Hellblade. The Thresher only improved on the award-winning audio design, accentuating the claustrophobia as voices swirl around your head. I will admit, initially when I set up the headset, I was quite underwhelmed with the audio quality. I found with just the dongle it sounded quite flat and it lacked an oomph. What I'm trying to say here is read the instruction booklet, look at the settings, and use the included optical audio cable, assuming you have an original PS4 or a PS4 Pro. Man, will this make an insane difference. I went from just casually sitting to melted ears in seconds. Another thing I want to make sure to mention is sound isolation. Although there is no active noise cancellation, once you've got this on your head, the outside world cannot be heard. I'm talking wives, babies, traffic, wives and babies. I can't hear a thing. It's beautiful. And the world won't be able to hear you either. Even cranked, there is almost no sound leak. Some other pros and cons. The battery life in this is amazing. The entire time I've had this Thresher in my possession, I've charged it maybe twice, maybe 3 times, and that is after many streams and many hours of gameplay. And I only charged because I assumed the battery was going to be running low soon. The volume dials on this headset are a free rotating design. There are audio tones that let you know when you have scrolled to the max. However, I would have personally preferred this to be a fixed wheel with a defined min and max. Now, the Thresher works perfectly with PlayStation VR. Many wireless headsets just don't seem to work with PSVR plugged in, but there were no issues here. And with as many cords as VR uses, I am so happy to have one of them removed. No more getting tangled. Now let's check out the microphone. It is certainly one of the better headset microphones I've used. It's warm, clear, and relatively distortion free. It could do with a little volume increase, however, the focus on quality over quantity is certainly a better choice here. There is a mic volume wheel on the left cup, but even at its max, it's not that loud. It uses a unidirectional pattern with a sound gate, which should isolate your voice and prevent any room noise leaking in. I personally wouldn't use this for streaming or recording a podcast, but for party chat, it's certainly an excellent option. There is no voice monitoring, so you won't be able to hear yourself as you chat. For some, this is a welcome removal. However, for me, it keeps my voice volume in check. There isn't really a benefit to headphones to drown out the world to then have you yelling into the microphone. But would we recommend it? To put it simply, yeah. The design is sleek, strong, and powerful. The sounds are clear, rich, and crisp. Its pros vastly outweigh its negatives, which are pretty much nitpicks at best. The Razer Thresher 7.1 is the perfect premium headset for that PlayStation enthusiast. Big thanks to Razer Australia and Double Jump Communications for lending us this unit for review. And it does truly break my heart that I have to send it back. I'm pretty sure I can convince my wife to let me pick one up. Do you have any questions about the Razer Thresher 7.1, or you just want to gush about it too? Jump in the comments below, and if you like what you've seen and heard here, don't forget to like and subscribe. But anyway, I'm Ryan Betson from The Pop Culturist, and that was our review of the Razer Thresher 7.1 for PlayStation 4.